Five on your mental health tonight, debating a hot topic without losing your cool. Experts say it's a critical skill to teach your kids. Well, here to explain is Dr. Erica Lee, a psychologist at Boston Children's Hospital. Good to see you, doctor.
Hey, Dr. Lee. I mean, let's be honest. Is it realistic not to lose your cool every now and again or once in a while? We're human, right? Okay, but I digress. Let's move on. Remember when, well, you're probably too young, but when I used to get into arguments, it would always be at the end, well, let's agree to disagree. I don't hear that much anymore, especially during the heated election season. Do you think it's having an impact on kids?
This is a great question. And I actually hear this a lot from families. You're spot on. It seems so much harder these days to find a middle ground or really just to understand perspectives of people that don't match our own. We do want to raise kids to be aware. We want them to be future voters. And at the same time, it's really important to remember that kids are not immune from the difficulties of the conversations that adults are having around them about current events. So when your kids are around, it's important to talk to them in a way that matches their developmental stage and their ability to understand and process what they're hearing about the issues of the day, especially of those things that are causing the adults in their lives a fair amount of stress.
How much should parents shield their kids, though, from the anger, name calling, and the violence?
Yeah, we do want to intentionally shield them from those intense emotions and the realities that we know that adults are much more equipped to handle. So when adults are angry, when they're anxious, when they're stressed, our kids do pick up on that, but they're much less better able to understand or cope with it, right? So if they see adults modeling really big negative reactions or using unkind language to talk about other people, then what they're learning is this is the way that I should express disagreement. Maybe it really is an us versus them kind of world, or they may worry like, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to other people that I care about? As they get older, that does shift, but when they're young, we really want to be mindful that kids take what we say very literally.
Oh yeah, they're sponges. You're absolutely right. So, Dr. Lee, what do you think kids need to hear from their parents instead?
Yeah, so you want to teach them, right? You want to think critically. It's important to understand why it is that you believe one thing versus another, but also just as importantly, you want to be able to communicate differences that you have with someone respectfully. Part of the human experience is disagreeing and trying to figure out how to resolve conflicts, but we can do that thoughtfully, and we can say to our kids, that goes both ways. So I expect you to be open and kind to other people, and also you can expect that back from other people without name calling and absolutely without violence.
I like that.
Yeah.
Dr. Lee, thank you as always for your insight.
Thanks, Dr. Lee. Take care. Great to see you.
Thank you.